Smile.
Wonderful to have you all here with us. An event as wonderful as this, with a great vehicle that we're going to be able to see and drive this afternoon. A very few housekeeping things that we would like to touch before we start with our friends at Buick. First, we need to update our database, especially in what has to do with emails. If you have any changes, if for any reason you or someone you know has not been receiving our emails on time, please let us know. Update your personal information so we will send you periodically our emails and you will receive them on time. Our next big event is going to be Topless in Miami on June 1st at the Ritz-Carlton here in Key Biscayne. Mr. Paul Borden.
Thank you. We're most of you are probably familiar with the routine for Topless in Miami, and we're not going to have any changes in that. 9:30 for registration. 8:30 for registration. Start at 9 at the Ritz, and then of course there's the drive. There's the luncheon, which is very informal, and then reception at night. What time will we have? 7:30. 7:30, and then followed by the awards dinner. Before I forget, Tony Serrato said if anybody wants to spend Thursday night at the Ritz, don't go to the Ritz site to get your reservation. Go to Tony and he can get you the rate that we have, which I don't remember what it is.
$249.
$249. The other thing, there is going to be one major change, and that's the way we're going to score the vehicles. In the past, we've had a couple different methods. This is kind of what we've done the last 2 years, rate them 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4 in each category, rank them, in other words, instead of score them. The difference is we're going to have 5 categories for you to rank each car in, which we think that will give us a little better feel for what our how the vehicles stack up. The different categories, I left my notes back there, which isn't very smart, but one is styling, exterior and interior styling, the top, how the top operates, how the car looks, the performance, how the car rides. Obviously, we're not going to do any drags or any racing out there.
Obviously.
What you think? Just what you think about how the car handles. Does it have enough power for everyday driving tasks? Because obviously we have a rather short area to drive in. The other is technology, how many standard features there are. And I would ask this time to get in and see how some of the things do operate. Fiddle with the radio, fiddle with the nav. Don't go assign a great task, but I don't know how you all feel when you review cars, but if you have to go into the owner's manual, I think you've lost.
Right.
So I really think that just do a basic function like on the nav, if it does have a nav system. How is changing the scale, for example? How complicated is that? How complicated is it to say change the radio? I think some of the cars I think have a challenge for us on doing things. Try to make things as complicated as they can. And the final category is just engagement, just basically a general overall feeling about the cars. We have so far 17 vehicles entered. We are expecting a couple more. This afternoon or tomorrow, please check your email. I'm going to send out more information as far as the schedule and as far as what the judging standards will be. Later on, when we get all our vehicles in, I've asked each manufacturer to send us a little bit of information about the cars. Just what do they want you to look for? What's new about it? What do they like about it? This kind of thing, so you can have a general feel before you get in the car as to what to expect from it and what to look for. Does it live up to the promise? Let's see, I believe that takes care of it. That will be coming out later because we are expecting 2 or 3 more entries, maybe more, who knows. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul. Now we have our Treasury report and our update on new members with Marcelo Serrato.
Thank you, Amy. Big thank you to Jola Moragli and his wonderful team for being here sponsoring. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We do have 3 new members. We have Carolina Fernandez, which some of you might know. She's back here in Miami with my Motor, Mundo Hispanico. We have Paige Presley that has joined the Infinity USA team, and Harold Gunn out of Texas has joined, he's the automotive reporter out of Texas, and he will be attending Topless in Miami. In terms of treasury report, we're at 6,630. Really appreciate it, everybody that's paid their dues. There's a quick story. I want Joe, if you can tell us your story with your membership card, how it helped when you were boarding the American Airlines.
No fist fights.
Yeah. Don't leave home without it. Let me tell you. Going to do a media gig in Indianapolis, packed a big bag full of equipment, driving it around, put it on the scale. They're like, oh, it's 107 pounds, you know, you're gonna have to pay X amount of money, blah, blah, blah. And I was obviously working them to try to figure out a way. They're like, well, what's in there? And I said, media equipment. They're like, oh, media equipment. We have a code. Can you prove that you're in the media? And I was like, yeah, I can. Dug this out, showed them $50 off on the bag. Wow. So, carved back a whole bunch of the membership right there. So like I said, don't leave home without it. It works. This was American Airlines. Don't travel without asking for it, because they say that they don't advertise it. It's just a thing. It's in their system. It took about 2 or 3 minutes, but the girl found the promo code and saved me some money. So thank you.
Does it work on United?
Only
after they drag you off.
Here you go, Mr. President.
Thank you, Marcelo.
Excuse me, I want to add one thing. I'm not really a great social media person, so this is what I overlooked. Hearts, our sponsor, presenting sponsor for Summit, wants to have a social media, I guess, contest, for lack of a better word, during the event. So they will provide details on it, and I can't remember, but they did have a couple of nice prizes this year. I can't remember what it is, since I don't have a chance of winning.
Our Secretary, Eduardo Hapke.
Thank you. For the Spanish speaker, el que tenga problemas en recibir un email, no sé si Marcelo recibiste la invitación o no. No, ok. Mándanos un email a Jaime o a mí para solucionar esto. Y about Topless in Miami, esta semana, lunes o martes, van a recibir la información que Paul comentó. Hay algunos cambios interesantes, so lean el email porque está bien interesante los cambios, y la registración para June 1st es 8:30, ¿verdad? 8:30 para los periodistas, y la cena es 7:30, igual que el año pasado. Así que cualquier cosa nos mandan un email. Gracias.
Thank you, Eduardo. Anything on Rides and Smiles? Bill? Yes.
Great, thank you, Jaime. First, I'm going to bring everybody up to speed on the Homestead Air Force Base show that we just had again. It was our 4th annual, and hello Lance, didn't notice you come in. Something came up that I guess has been my fault. I've always tried to tell people that this is not an event open for the public per se. Having said that, we've got a pretty good membership here, and I had an idea that all of us have to know at least one person with a spectacular car. It could be a vintage car, it could be your ultra rare Cadillac CTSV station wagon. There's always special cars around. If each of us reach out and just get one person to bring their car down to the Air Force Base, ride with them. If you're actually bringing a vehicle in, yes, you can come in, and all of us that were there this year will tell you the private air show that we got from their F-16s was something that, oh my God, I've never seen anything like it in my life. There we are, 75 feet off the main runway, and these jets are coming by us at almost touching down, and then they put the wheels back up and back onto afterburner, and they're 350 miles an hour, and they reached us on this big banking climb in the sky. We were all standing on the ground cheering and yelling. It was so exciting. So this is something I would like, I'm going to plant the seed right now, but if you know somebody, talk to them. Ask them if they'd like to put their car on display. The photographers who came last year and helped us so graciously with the Air Force Base and Rides and Smiles, one of the photographers called me and said, would you like some other cars, because I do all these special assignments for private individuals. They brought 19 of the most spectacular show cars I've ever seen. From the SEMA show in Las Vegas and They had everything imaginable. It was breathtaking. And of course, we had the usual LaFerrari and a bunch of race cars. And the people at the Air Force Base, they were overwhelmed and again, so appreciative. So please keep that in the back of your minds. Now, turning to Rides and Smiles, I had a meeting last week with Al Garcia at the Homestead Speedway, and they still are genuinely very upset that they couldn't give us the time this year to make it happen. And they said even next year it's a bit of a challenge already. And I'm looking at, once again, to go back into February of next year, if we can do that. Do the Air Force Base on one day, Rides and Smiles at the Speedway the second day. And Al is working hard on making that happen, even to the standpoint of going to a motorcycle organization, I forget which sanctioning body it is, but he wants to talk them into, instead of running a 2-day event, to run a 1-day event. And he said, I can make it cheaper for them. And I brought up the fact that, well, perhaps we can even rent the track. Let us work on getting the money. He said, no, that's not important. The Speedway wants to give back to the world and back to the community to do this. Money is not important to us at all, and we're gonna do our best to try to make this happen. I also had another idea. One of my great points in my heart is I always want to reach more children, more wounded warriors, more, to bring more people out to enjoy the day. Had a meeting with the wing commander at the Homestead Base, the general who's in charge of Southern Command, which is now a military group based down there with U.S. Army Rangers, Navy SEALs. They will be bringing a lot of people out next year too. They're very aware of it, very keen to do it. So this is going to grow. But a week from today, I've got a meeting with the president of the Boys and Girls Club in Broward County. I'd never considered them before, and it's brain dead on my part. These are young people who, they may not have a family. Their only family is their contacts through the Boys and Girls Clubs. And just incredible that they do quite wonderful things. We talked about perhaps having a reward system for some of their people and bring them down to the base. A lot of logistics to work out, not the least of which is how do you transport, let's say 50 young people from Broward County down to the base. But the president's saying, no, leave that with us. We'll work on getting them down there. So hopefully we're going to build this up to the level that I would like to see it at, where we're getting hundreds of kids down there for the morning to just make this wonderful day. The cars, as I talked about with the Air Force Base, and to put them on display and actually have a show on the western part of the paddock area at the racetrack so people can wander in and out. The photographer says he will guarantee us 100 cars next year. He said, that's not a problem. We've got so many people are clamoring to help. So we could really develop this with everybody's help. God knows I can't do it alone. I try, but I can't. And if we can do this, we can have the biggest event where we're really reaching out and giving back. Remember, this is not about SAMA. This is about SAMA giving back to the world. This is about other people. We don't want to make ourselves happy. We want to make others happy. So that's where I'll stop, because I could go on all afternoon. Thank you to Buick. Your cars look so good. I can't wait to drive them out there. And I'll let you carry on. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you very much. Now we'll proceed with our lunch, and then after that, Mr. Joel Ambrage and his people from Buick will present their company and their vehicles, and we're going to be able to drive the wonderful Buick Lacrosse downstairs. Thank you once again for coming.